I played this demo way too much, man. I played way too much. I played way too much of this demo. I put in over 100 hours. Okay, granted, let me save face a little bit. You know, and unlike some other people, I've been labbing the game, not doing any nefarious. But I will say, a lot of that was just me falling asleep is me falling asleep, being in practice mode and just falling asleep, leaving the game on and reading a book on the side, and you know. Let me just save a little bit of face real quick. But yeah, I'd say about like 80 of those hours. maybe about like 90 of those hours were legit. Maybe a little. I don't. It's kind of hard to say. We're just gonna be vibing today, just messing around, going over details, and you know, talk about the game. And if you aren't in the loop, there is a hard mode in the game. I'm not talking about the her hard mode. I'm talking about a legit hard difficulty that unlocks after you beat the game. I think I would like for it to be available at the start, but as long as it's in there, you know. And let's talk about the meta of the game, because I've been like showing off combo videos and I've been engaging with Twitter on and off more than usual. I have concerns as somebody who's played the demo for 115 hours. Okay, as somebody who's played the game for the demo for over 100 hours, I can honestly say that I hate this demo. I freaking hate it. I hate it because I can't go any further. I'm so sick and tired of not being able to get past that last gate. I am fucking sick and tired of that shit. Just let me in, man. Let me in. I have concerns that the beta moves, these are overpowered. I have concerns that they're overpowered because they do stagger at every time that they connect, and this one even knocks down. All right, that one even knocks down, so that's just even better. Knockdowns are knockdowns are very, very good in this game. They seem to be very founded in fighting game ideologies, and you know, very well versed in making combat-based games. And it seems like they're going with a technical approach in that regard, but also trying not to make it too complicated for people to jump in. Knockdowns, or the knockdowns being the most important as far as the meta of the game, right? All of these moves interrupt the opponent or whatever they're doing. As long as they're not doing like their own skill-based moves, and usually sometimes they can even you know, whatever. Some enemies can armor through your armor, I guess. So it's just a back and forth type of thing, but it's not. It's a rare occurrence. So I think that these moves are. I'm concerned that they could be overpowered. Because if you know what you're doing, you can just completely just bully every opponent in the game. Especially that boss fight, the stalker. You can just completely bully him with the knockdowns. And it seems like that is primarily their approach, because if you look at all of the burst related moves, which aren't in the demo, but they are signs of some that are in the demo. If you take it back right here, there are some burst skills that they showcased, and all of them have one thing in common, is that they all knock down. They all result in a knockdown state, and that seems to be the common reoccurrence with every single one of them in the skill tree. Right? Every single one of them, they do the same thing. They knock down. That's like their their selling point. You know. I might have missed one, but anyways, they that's pretty much the, you know, what they're all doing. Yeah. So, and these aren't on the burst moves. Like, these are just like moves that just, or add-ons, and there's going to be like a whole R1 set to your moves, like the same as this skill tree. There's going to be one presumably dedicated to the burst gauge, kind of in the same way, probably. I don't even think that this is the complete tree for this. I think this is a complete front, and I think they're going to pull like a, hey, here's an extended tree. You know, I think they're going to do something like that. All right, so I think even if you do max these out, I think they're going to get more extended later on. Just based on what you see at the end of the demo, you know. I don't think they've even shown us one boss fight yet, to be honest. Let's just call it a hunch. I don't think that they've shown us one single boss fight. Right? I don't think this is technically considered a boss. There's an interview they put out where it's like, they said the 3 that would be considered a boss for the demo, at least. They said something like that, right? They said some sleek shit like that. Something that can be considered a boss for the demo. That's what they said in one of those interviews. I'm betting that these aren't even the boss fights. These are going to be common enemies. Or like mid bosses, right? These, I don't think these are the real bosses. The elites, right? The burst gauge seems to be completely based around knocking down the opponent. And if that is the case, and if that is the name of the game, I think this game is going to be a lot more combo heavy than even I originally thought. Because based on how strong this is, you do that, get wake ups. He's already lost over half of his life bar, and this is a tough opponent, right? And we presumably have no upgrades on this character, like no attack upgrades and anything like that. And we just took out more than half of his life bar on one exchange. That's very strong. That's very strong. When we get the burst gauge, that's just going to get even. That's just going to be his full life bar. Instead of being half of his life bar, it's going to be 100%. But the knockdown is so important. The knockdown is so important because you get the wake ups. The wake ups is like just an additional 25% damage on this guy. And it works on bosses too. So that's why I'm concerned that they're going to be potentially overpowered or potentially too strong. And I'm concerned about the balance to a degree. I'm not that concerned, but I'm just like curious. I'm curious how they're going to handle it, because it doesn't seem like they have an answer for it. Right? Doesn't seem like any of the opponents have an answer for these beta skills. Hold on, did you see that shit? Hold on. You need to clip that. Clip that. Clip that. I just found some new tech. You just witnessed me finding some new tech. We all saw that, right? We did a flash kick mid-air and then came down with the jump attack. We did the flash kick in mid-air. What the I'm not even trying to find tech anymore. Quit trying to make me play the game, damn it. The demo, this is what the demo's been doing to me this whole time. This is an abusive relationship here. This shit is abusive. I'm not even trying to find this shit anymore. I'm just trying to enjoy it, have a chill time. Just have a laid back, chill talking. And it's like, hey, IT. Hey, Owl, Mr. Owl. You want some more tech? You want to laugh for a couple more hours? You want to laugh for a couple more hours, Mr. Owl? And I'm like, no, I'm just trying to enjoy the piece, you know, just lay back and stay cool. And he's like, here's some new tech. Here's some new shit. Why is it doing this to me? What I do for this? What I do? Now we gotta laugh this. Now we gotta laugh this. I'm so sick and tired of this game making me like it. I'm so sick and tired of the bullshit, man. I'm sick and tired of this game making me trying to like it. How the fuck did that happen? Did that happen? I need answers. Watch it back one more time. Yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. We were talking about how overpowered these moves are. And then, lo and behold, some random new tech happened. And now we gotta find out how we did that shit. I don't know. I don't know how it happened. So yeah. I'm only slightly concerned. Or, you know, just curious in how they're going to handle the balance with these moves. And then on top of that, you get another skill and set and pair of moves, which are only going to make you even that much more deadlier. Right? Because of the knockdown. The free knockdown that you're going to get. And the free damage you're going to get be by proxy of that, which is going to be the burst gauge, right? You won't have to spin this meter to get the knockdown. You can just use the burst to do it instead. And that just means you're going to have that much more to do this afterwards, or to do something else afterwards, you know? So you're going to get twice as strong when you get that extra meter. So yeah, I'm just a little curious in how they're going to handle the balance regarding that. And it seems to work on bosses just as well, right? You can beat the bosses in the game just by throwing out bombs, which gives you the knockdown. Knockdowns are very strong. You can get 50-60% damage just off of a knockdown, and just continuously being able to you know, keep it flowing, right? That's just where I'm curious in how the balance is going to be handled. Yeah, that's just all I will say. I don't think it's anything I did here. I think it's like his animation just boosted me. I think it was just because I don't think I did anything different there. I don't think I did anything different for that to happen. I think it was just an interaction between his animation and mine. But I can't be sure. If you time two things to come out at the same frame, right? Let's talk about the custom combos and stuff. So in the instance, let's say we have that's light and that's heavy. Now typically you just press both light and heavy at the same time and you'll get a branching path, and both of them will come out and you'll get something unique out of it, a custom combo if you will. But it doesn't work right off the gate. It doesn't work right off the gate for whatever reason. In this instance, if we want to start it off with a custom branch, we do it after a dash, and see, both of them came out, right? You know, there's no way to get that light to come out that quickly without going into the heavy branch heavy branch combo. Right? That's not possible ordinarily. Alright, so that's ideally the starting point of what you're doing. You can also do this out of parry. Jeez, the timing for this, man. Yeah, the timing out of parry, I'm not used to it. I just kind of discovered that earlier today. But there you go, something like that. So it's possible to do it out of parry, out of block, probably. The key is that you want to get them both to register at the same time. Right? Sometimes that requires you to use a buffer animation in place. So yeah. Is just trying to get two things to register at the same time of availability. So the same thing with the air dash, the double air dash, and being able to dive kick out of an air dash. It's just by pressing jump and dash at the same time. Having a leveled map is ideal, so that way you can get air, because he doesn't jump off the ground that high. So having a leveled map helps, or something going downhill. And it also helps having a lock on for some reason. I don't know why that is, but lock on seems to affect it. Yeah, let's do light, heavy, heavy, heavy. And they give us that in curve, whatever the fuck. To custom that, we'll do instead the custom combo. We'll do light. We'll wait a little bit, give time for the heavy attack to be ready to be registered, because if we go too fast, we'll just get light. So we'll do light and then light plus heavy at the same time, but we'll wait to make sure that the heavy attack is ready to be registered, and then we'll finish with heavy, heavy, heavy. There we go. That's what it was. So we'll try light, heavy, light, and then heavy. We'll do the same thing, but we'll do, after light, heavy, we'll do light plus heavy right after that. So instead of getting this, we'll instead get that, right? We got an extra attack in there. And then you can still finish it off. Or if we wanted to rebranch out of this, we can do that, right? Because once we get to that point, we've entered a branching point where we have multiple ways to branch out. And this is where it gets tough. This is where we have the difficult part. And that's where the frame perfect nonsense comes into play. Things that are cool to look at, they're cool to do in practice, and in practicality, probably not, the most reliable thing to do. Not something you would depend on doing. So after this, right when she does the multiple swings, we have the time at the start of that move, at the start of that multiple swing coming out, which is off of a light attack. We want to branch off of that back into something else and try to finish with this. So we have to time a heavy at the exact startup of that, so they both get registered at the same time. And so we're branching and then rebranching. The rebranching is a frame perfect input, which is good luck to you, fam. Missed it again, but I'm getting closer. Got it. Oh, okay, missed it. Still too slow. If you don't get it, it just means you're too slow. Ah, that one felt like it was. I felt like I was on the money there. Okay, and that's too early. Too late. It does help when you have it actually hitting because you get more time to prep and you get more like feedback. So it does help doing it like this. You know, because that extra feedback from the hits can give you better timing. So it's worth keeping that in mind. You know, if you practice away, you're going to have to practice again up close. So just something to point out. So one thing I was saying that is helpful is to identify where you want your input at. We want our input to be right after that is where we want our input. So we'll just put a dash after that. And that the startup of that dash is where we want our activation. That's where we want to, that's the marker we're trying to hit. That's our target point. So just try to get familiar with that. All right. Get familiar with that. Too soon. It's like you feel like you're on the money, but that, like I said, it's so excruciatingly tight because this is obviously not intended. Obviously not intended. They should intend this and make it more doable. Maybe not make it too easier, but you know, maybe make it a little bit more viable is what I would say, because it is cool to do. Too slow. Too soon. Oh, right on the money. Yeah, I missed the whole thing that time. There we go. There we go. There we go. So you also have to keep in mind you're hitting the target point, but you also have to keep in mind travel time between your fingers actually hitting the buttons on time, right? So you travel time and spatial awareness, and if you wanted to put a charge after it, some of the charge combos I was doing, that is even harder. That's even harder. So to do the double finisher, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's not as hard. Alright, it's a little easier than doing the other one I just did. You have to get used to charging in such a tight finish window, because you can't overcharge. If you overcharge, you don't get it to come out. So what I do is I do this, and on the last hit, you want to hit the last hit and buffer it in as earliest as possible. And you can do that the moment you see the previous attack coming out. So for instance, the moment you see the first light attack begin, which is almost immediately, you can input the second one. Applying that same logic, you can use this for the final hit and therefore get more breathing time, more breathing room to try to time the charge at the tail end. But again, you have to time it just right. You have to just frame, not just frame, you have to perfectly frame, perfectly, you know, frame perfect a charge input. You have to frame perfect a charge input in the midst of all of this. So yeah, it's not easy to do at all, but you get used to it. Is there anything that I missed? Oh yeah, there's this one combo right here. This one combo. For some reason, this one acts differently. Instead of hitting both attacks at the same time. That's heavy, light, heavy. And here's heavy, light, light. If you wanted to chain both of those together, you don't press light and heavy at the same time. Otherwise, this just happens. Nothing. Nothing happens. You just get the continuation of the normal string. So in order to get that one to happen, instead of doing heavy, light, heavy, and instead of doing heavy, light, light plus heavy, instead what you want to do is heavy, light, and then light slide input into heavy. So, you know, if you ever played Siegfried in Soul Calibur, then that's what you're doing. You're doing a slide input. You're doing hitting light and quickly sliding to heavy. So you get the light input to come out first and quickly sliding it over. And what you'll get is you'll get the whatever we call this. You get both of them to come out that way. I don't know why this one does it like that, but that's something that gets it to happen consistently. Now there is a way to, you know, again, if you want it to get really complicated, you do that. You time the heavy on the moment that, you know, the third hit comes out, or the fourth hit in this instance, and that's the way you rechain it back into something else, and then blah 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 blah. It's so complicated. It's so hard to do, and I'm never going to try to do it ever again. But here's a cool one. Here's a cool one that I like doing. I like doing this one. So you want to mix in, let's say you want to mix in the skills inside your combo. How do you do that? In the same way that you do this, in the same way you do that right there, or the same way you do this, it's the same way you do the combo into the skills. The moment your attack finishes, you input the gapper. We'll call it the gap. You fill the gap. In this case, the gap with either the dash or your skill. And then again, the moment that you are at the earliest available, you are hitting the next sequence of attack. In this case, you're not waiting for the dash to finish. You're not waiting for the skill to finish. As soon as you're doing the dash, you're immediately pressing the next sequence of attack. So I'm doing light, light, and then as soon as I get the dash to come out, like basically a slide input, but you know, it doesn't have to be a slide input, but you want to be that quick. But again, you have to make sure that you time the first part for the dash to come out perfectly as soon as the attack finishes. And then you want to, as soon as you get the dash, you want to immediately, you know, have that next sequence in. In other words, you're not waiting to see results, you're trusting your inputs are on point. You're not waiting to see the results. By the time you see the results, it's too late. You're completely trusting in your execution here. In the same way, it's the same with skills. But I will say that it's hard to do like same sequences. Like in this case, light, which is square, and then skill with square. It's kind of hard to do that, right? It's not impossible, but it's definitely the harder route to do, and it's kind of unnecessarily hard to do. So if you can't help it, it'll make it easier if you do light, and if you want to continue with lights, you do out a skill with triangle or circle. We'll branch out of lights and we'll do a skill, and then we'll finish the light combo. So, you know, gotta trust in it, trust in your execution. You're not waiting to see results, you're trusting that you already have the results. Right, it's not that hard. It's a little bit of timing, but it's not that hard. It's a lot more forgiving than some of the other stuff we were talking about. It's a lot more forgiving. Anyways, that's the long and short of it. The long and short of it. So it's my favorite one to do. Yeah, it's kind of tricky, but possible. Why you don't give it to me? Too slow? Too slow? Felt it. Got it. Of course, I killed him too early. Right. So that's the main thing you want to keep in mind. You're not waiting to see the results when you're trying to use skills or dashes mid-combo and continue and branch out of it. You're not waiting to see results, you're trusting in your execution. You're trusting that you already have the results. You know, so that's just something you have to keep in mind. You can't wait for it, you have to just go for it. Go for it. Into the heat of battle, go for it. But you play around with it, find out when you can use it, and it can come up and give you something cool. Right. These are rules I didn't create. I didn't create the rules. I'm just innovating off of them. I didn't create the rules. I'm just over here innovating off of the rules. That is all that I do. So yeah, that's more or less everything that I got to share. Everything that I got to share. We can turn the music on. Yeah, because I'm trying to get ready for when the game comes out and make sure that my sound is right and all that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Nice. Hey, what up, Squidward? Trying to get the first hit chain. Alright. Nice. This game is gonna be so tight, man. I can honestly say, despite all the hours I put into this, I'm still randomly finding new stuff. I know that the final build of the game is going to be patched to some degree. Don't know if all the stuff I've learned is going to be patched out. It could be. Maybe it just gets better. Maybe it gets more refined. Maybe the game just gets more polished overall, right? That's the hope. That's the expectation. Oh yeah, we got to do the funnest part. What am I over here tripping for? I'm not trying to get experience. I'm not trying to get experience points. I'm just trying to have fun. This is the funnest challenge in the game, the demo. If you want a taste of things to come, you want to go into training mode and do this right here. Let me dial it back real quick. Let me dial it back. Let's set up a video for this, a quick clip. If you want to have the most fun in the demo, you go to the training skill tree. You go over here and you train on this skill right here. This is a taste of things to come, in my opinion. So you turn on all attacks. I like resetting the energy gauge so I don't cheap out the challenge. Go down and you see what's up. This is a taste of what this game is going to be like. This is what you're going to be dealing with. Alright. So my personal challenge is don't get hit. I started with don't get knocked down. And then it's like just don't get hit, period, right? This game is so chaotic. Yeah, I think it's going to be so fun. I question if the demo elite boss fights are going to be any challenge. I'm sure there'll be some that are going to give people trouble. But I'm curious to see the big fights, And also, I think the regular mobs are going to be the biggest trouble in the game. Which is... I think that's pretty much part of the course. For most games like these, the mobs aren't being complete pushovers and causing trouble. Damn. So that's what this game is about. When you start doing this and realizing what the chaotic side of this game is going to be like, decision making goes through the roof. You're not just timing and waiting and reacting to do the blink or do this. You have to make the decision, is it the right move to use the blink? Is it the right thing to react to the right thing to react with? Or is that going to get me set up? Is this a trap? Should I just do a perfect dodge instead? Should I parry this? Or is this a parry trap because it's unblockable because they're hitting me too many times at once? In most cases, the perfect dodge is the ultimate out. It's like the answer to everything, but it's also the most strict answer that you have. So yeah. So I'm gonna just perfect dodge out of that instead of a spawning. I'll blink to that. He backed off, so I don't have to worry about getting hit. I'll react to this one. Dodge. See, because I reacted to that, appropriately, I got hit by a missile. So the right choice there would have been to just perfect dodge out the way. And one thing about this game, if you try to practice the backwards blink, you'll notice that it doesn't have to be backwards. It could be left, right, or back. Plus dodge. Any of those will give you the repulse or whatever it's called. All of those will give you the results and give you the, you know, the whatever. So I'm gonna just move right and dodge, and it's gonna give me the, what you call it, right? I just move right the whole time. So it doesn't necessarily have to be back. You just have to be facing the opponent and hit anything but forward. So how do you perfect dodge out of that? You have to just neutral dodge. That's how you do it. Neutral dodge. So there's some rules here and decisions and things you have to keep in mind. When you see the purple stuff, and you know it's a trap, you know they're setting you up for a trap, and if you respond to it with the perfect answer that they want you to answer with, you know that you're going to take the hit, you're going to eat a hit, but you don't have any way to get out of that, because any direction you press is going to lead you to getting that perfect response, and it's going to get you lit up by eating that hit. So the only way to get out of that is to time the perfect dodge with a neutral dodge. Neutral. Or you can lock off and forward dodge and try to angle it. Anytime you just want to angle it away from the enemy, away from their hitbox or whatever, and you'll get a perfect dodge. But in this case, to respond to something that you're kind of locked out of, kind of like a what you call it, block whatever proximity, your block or dodge proximity out of a perfect dodge when the purple stuff comes out. So in order to get out of that, you just neutral dodge. Anyways, let's get back to it. Neutral dodge. Blink that. Oh, fuck. Alright. Alright, don't take a hit. Alright, that's a setup. That's unblockable. I'll respond to that. Can't see. Respond. I might have picked a chip. Fuck. This stupid missile. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, this is where the game, this is when you're really playing Stellar Blade. You're really playing Stellar Blade when you're doing this. There's so many decisions you have to make. This is what I'm expecting the game to be like. It's not going to be that stalker fight. I'm sure it will be, but at some points. But I think this is going to be the most common part. Or at least the most exciting part. Woo! Alright, get my eggs down. Oh, how did he hit me? How did he hit me? All right, let's try that again. Anytime you take away their shield, you stun them for a little bit. Ooh. Speed buff. Can't see. Them both in sight. Alright. Big damage. Fuck! I overcommitted. Overcommitted. Made the wrong choice. Oh no. See, I responded perfectly to the blink. Responded perfectly to it. And it was a setup. It was a setup. So I should have just perfect dodged. Or just avoided it some other way. Oh no. That's the setup right there. That's the setup. You respond perfectly, you get set up. Sometimes. You just have to keep it in mind. The right decision isn't always the right decision. Try that again. Perfect dodge. Alright, I see you creeping. Perfect dodge. Perfect dodge. I tried, I just didn't time it. Oh, I took chip. I took chip there. Alright. Nope. That's the setup. Woo! So the would-be setup there that time was helpful because of iframes. Oh no, not that time though. Oh my god. Blessed hitboxes. Damn it. It was doing so good. It was doing so good, and it just got too chaotic. All right, we got this. We got this. Damn, that string. That's why I like doing the custom combo there. Because you can't cancel out of this once it gets going. So I always like doing that instead, the custom combo. Barely got that. Damn. So I think what's happening is you can't dodge into any of the attacks, period. So I'm trying to dodge, but I'm dodging into the missiles and it's getting me lit up. I'll take that. Oh, you son of a bitch. Something got me. I don't know what it was. Nope, not this time. Woo! Get out of here. What? Oh my god, that shit, that's the hardest move that they have, that it comes out so much faster than everything else, but they rarely do it. They rarely do it. Damn. Right. This is why I think this game is going to be fun. Like really, really fun. And it's got so much that you can mix in. Right? Like just thinking about the open world aspect of the game. Or your semi-open world or whatever they're going to call it, you know. Sandbox and LA Fitness. You're just wandering around and, you know, discovering random stuff, different environments. You're not in a training room in a demo when you're 120th hour, you know, and you're long and away from a save point. You're low on heals. You got environmental hazards. Maybe you have an enemy trailing you from a distance and you're trying to get away and you run into a corner and you find these little bitches right here. Chilling in the cut. And then it's on. Right? And then you have to deal with this shit. And then you have to deal with multiple varieties of it. And then maybe there's like you're like on top of a bridge or something. You know, I'm interested in seeing the environments and the battles happening in different environments. That's what I'm interested in seeing. I'm interested not just in the big boss fights, but I'm interested in just seeing the overall aspect of the game and how it all comes together. And the fishing. Fishing's cool too. Fishing is an actual minigame, by the way. You just have to look at the accessibility options. It's an actual minigame. Fishing controls. Alright. Here we go. That's a trap. Fuck. You know, they just started jumping me. Alright. Okay, that was a different one. A different trap that time. Ooh. That son of a bitch. You see, I was so committed to doing the repulse. And then that bitch in the background started lighting up. You threw everything off. That shit there. God. Oh my god, he did the move. He hit me. Okay. I was so close that time. Not today. Oh my, how did it hit me? Okay, now the guy's not up. Woo! Oh, you son of a bitch! Oh, I thought he was done. I thought he was done, man. I thought he was done. That would have been so sick. That would have been so sick. Alright, got this, got this. I wanted the meter. Parry to build meter. Yeah, that's a wash. That's another thing to consider, is when you get the full meters to your disposal, you also have to consider the ways that you build meter. Dodging builds red stuff, parrying builds blue stuff. So that's another thing to consider. Right now, we don't really have to worry about it. We're just surviving. I went too early. I'm the easiest one to deal with. I went too early. Oh. All right. How? I was dodging. I was. All right, all right, all right. Yeah. All right, pull it together, team. Pull it together, team. This is fun, man. This is fun. Son of a bitch. Anytime they start lining up in the background, that's like this is a big middle finger every time they do it. Don't hit. That's a fucked up scenario right there. That was a fucked up scenario right there. It's like I had the perfect dodge that, and I don't think anything else would have escaped out of that. That was a perfect dodge only. Hi. Oh, the missiles. The missiles. Oh my god, I can't believe I survived that. Oh my god. I'm alive. I'm still kicking. Freaking androids, man. I don't know what the fuck they just did right there, but I was not ready. I was thinking I had the iframe to it. I think it like freezes certain attacks. God, how did it not dodge? Oh, double? Woo! Fucking background dancers, man. Freaking background dancers all day. The background dancers every time. I'm getting worse. There's no hope. I'm getting worse. The grueling battle has ended with the victory of no name. It's the most intimidating thing when they start flashing two different colors at once. It's the most intimidating thing when they start flashing multiple colors at once. You gotta get on your third strike parry game, and at one moment, then you have to play dodgeball the other moment. Oh, I said I went for the double. He only shot one pair of missiles that time. I was expecting another barrage. I hit him out of it. He was doing the blue stuff and I hit him out of it because I took out his shield. Oh my god. I took out his shield. Fuck. What the fuck do you want from me? What do you want from me, man? What do you want from me? What do you want from me? I can't perform miracles out here. Watch me. Come over here. Alright, what you want? What you want? What you want? I got meter. I think what happened there is the missile came from my left and I dodged left. I think that's what happened. So maybe just neutral dodge is the best thing to do there. Oh my god. Get those missiles out of here. I'm on to you, Scrub. Woo! GG's. GG's. That was fun. That was fun. Let me get a thumbnail. Let me get a thumbnail. Yeah, there you go. Take this shit out. Yeah, it's shameless. Shameless thumbnail or whatever. I don't. Who cares? That's gonna wrap it up for me. I think it needs to be a bit more centered. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. There we go. Something like this. Yeah. Anyways. I gotta get this. I gotta get my avatar or whatever out the way. This shit was on the screen the whole time. That shit looks hella annoying. Shit looks hella annoying. Yeah. That's gonna wrap it up for me. Hope y'all enjoyed as I enjoyed. And yeah, I know I'm not doing any demo runs. I think that's kind of played out at this point. You know, I think it's just a little bit played out. But when a full game drops, I'll at least consider going through the game from scratch. I don't know if I will. I don't know if I will, but I'll at least consider it. I kind of just want to keep going. Get out of this area as quick as possible. But then again, I've never showed the full beginning on my channel, so if I wanted to do a full playthrough, I'll just be skipping the beginning, which would be alright by me. But I don't know, maybe I should just do the whole thing. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed and had a good time, some learning, found some whatevers, and you know, hey, I'm still enjoying the game, still enjoying it. After all this time, I'm still enjoying learning, finding new stuff, finding better ways to use skills and hone my abilities. I think this game is just crazy fun. It's a struggle out the gate, and it's misrepresenting itself out the gate, in my opinion. I said that in my initial impressions multiple times. I said it out the gate, it doesn't leave the best impression. It doesn't leave the best impression out the gate, you know. But as soon as they put you out there on your own, you start getting a better feel for it. And then it's just like a love story from that point on, right? The more you get acquainted, the more you get adjusted, the better it starts to, come together. And for people who are tech savvy, I don't know. Sky's the limit. Who can say what the future holds? But I can't wait. Hope everybody enjoyed again, and I'll bid you further adieu. May peace be with. Always keep your heads up. Deuces, those most ideal. Stay cool. If you like this content, be sure to show some love, but always be sure to show that love to the people who matter to you. This is ITOwl bidding you farewell. Peace, much love, and stay cool. Deuces. There we go. You guys set up the epic battle of training robot. The epic battle. How do you make thumbnails? Get me out of here.